like a flying saucer or something.
We can start. Thank you. Mayor?
Yes,
We-
I asked for the roll call.
Okay, roll call, please.
Thank you for waiting. Mayor Christy Mossock,
Here?
Vice Mayor Gregory Freebold,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Taylor Materio,
Here.
Councilmember Bridget Keating.
Present.
Do we have anybody who's, okay, so, I'll say a quick. All right, just a quick prayer for our proceedings tonight. Lord, you tell us in Proverbs 3 that to trust in the Lord with all our heart and lean not on our own understanding. And Lord, we lean on your understanding. You are the source of all wisdom. Lord, we pray for wisdom in our decisions today. We know that we want to do everything that's right and best for the town. And you also tell us in Psalm 21, some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. And that is all the best we can say, Lord, is we trust in you tonight and every night that we're working for you. Amen. Taylor, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Was there any remembrance?
Pardon me? Oh, yes, excuse me.
Right there.
Right
There we go. All right. Lord, a moment of silence for Carmen Iris Burgos, 75 years old, who died on July 13th. For Liz Estrella, the aunt of our utility operations specialist. For Daniel Enrique Londano, only 48 years old. It was a resident since 2015. For Lisa Peterson, 70 years old, retired clerk for the town of Manalapan. And Lord, we thank you for their lives and we pray comfort for their families. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Do we have any public comments?
No comments online.
That one's empty. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry.
Hi, Chris Zambelli, 7031 Venetian Way. I don't know it's violating codes or whatever, but the house 7021 Bridge is very familiar with. They even had their gate partially open. The amount of crap you see back there, the amount of jet skis, the amount of cars parked in there, it's a lot of gasoline tanks. With all those jet skis, I'm sure there's a lot of 5-gallon things holding gas. Safety hazard number 1, look hazard number 2. Our houses are going for a lot of money and I don't want to live in a damn ghetto. That's Sanford and Son all over it. If anybody's old enough to remember that one. I'm sorry, it's a junk house, just like that house on West Lake by the canal. Looks abandoned. There's got to be something. I don't know if it's under codes, develop at ARCOM. And speaking of that, when you see the houses being built on Olive, they're taking up the whole plot of land. You wonder where the pill's going. I know somebody who's actually moved away 10 years ago, had a house on Flagler, cannot afford to buy a Flagler. Mentioned Lake Clark Shores and wants to build a big giant house here. So there's got to be a certain amount of green space because this problem's going to smooth right over to us if you can't afford that there. And for the record, I'm for keeping septic tanks. I always wanted to say that, never. But it's just, you know, those motor vehicles, I mean, the backyard, they still have their Christmas lights up, by the way. Christmas in July is on Hallmark, not in Lake Clark Shores. And this house is ridiculous.
I'm familiar with it.
Did
And
you
I'm
see the
sure,
backyard?
I'm sure our code officer is as well.
You ever see the backyard? I'm going away for the rest of the month, but I promise you, starting September, I'm going to be happy as a McCoy. I'm going to look up every code and call whoever's in charge every day. I want them so fined up, they have to move. I'm not looking at it anymore. Period. And I mentioned this house before. I'm done mentioning it. I'm going out for war.
Joe, do we know if there's any existing violations on the house?
I know there's been some activity on that house.
There has been activity and Code Officer Rich Wagon does have cases open on that property.
I mean, they just threw down gravel so they could park their cars so we don't park on grass anymore. Weeds are coming up through it.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the houses are going for too much. If I was putting my house on the market, I'd sue them for interference in me getting my top dollar. I'm so sorry, that can't happen.
And you're always welcome to contact me and I can sit down with Officer Rich Wagon and you, and we can discuss the status of the investigations in the case.
I like to because I'm starting, like when I come back from vacation, I'm gonna make it my number one war.
You're welcome to reach out to me. Absolutely.
Thank you. This looks like it says Carmen or Gammons. Another,
You've had a long day.
oh.
Tim Daughtry, 1410 Keller Road. This is something that's been coming up recently, and I've seen it quite a bit. And there's a lot of turmoil about cameras on reading
The flock-
people's
The
license.
flock cameras.
The flock cameras, okay. And I have some concerns about it because of the open ability of people to access that information across any type of jurisdiction and without warrants to get at that information. And it's a concern to me. And it's something I think we need to look at carefully because there's a lot of people pulling cameras now and there's a lot of damage to cameras and there's a lot of people bagging cameras because they're very concerned about them. And it's something I think we need to be proactive rather than reactive on. Okay. We're being presented with the budget. Okay. And the tax amendment is coming up in November, and I would like to handle both of those together. And I see we're increasing our budget 4%, and I don't think under this vote that's going to occur in November, we should be increasing our budget by 4%. I think we should be thinking of holding tight. I think we should be thinking about a hiring freeze. I think we should look at a rollback rate, and any vote that goes for anything other than a full rollback rate, I want to say it is a tax increase. It is a tax increase. There's no question about that. I think we need to educate everybody in town about the effects of the tax amendment, okay? And I'll be honest to say that I'm going to vote for it for any number of reasons, and I'd be willing to share that with anybody, why I'm doing that. And we need to look at our budget and how we've been presenting budget figures to people. I think we need to present with people what we pay, what we used for a budget 10 years ago versus today. I think we should be looking at vehicle expenditures 10 years past to today. I think we need to look at individual employment costs, okay? Our budget in the past, and this has been back a year, and it was when Greg was on the town council back then. The budget had in it a separate page which showed the employees in the town, and I'm not asking for everybody's name, but it did show what each job was being paid, including all the benefits that went with that person. And I think we need to be able to tell people what we're paying individual jobs in this town so they know where our money's going. Okay. I think that's important. I really do think that's important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Any other public comments? Anybody online? Okay, may I get a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Before we approve the consent agenda, I just have one correction to make on the minutes from last time. They say that I learned about YIGBY at a 2-day conference from the Florida League of Cities. That's actually not correct. I've been working on YIGBY for the Palm Beach County for the last 10 months now. So just note that correction. And
Where is it in the minutes? There's
Sorry.
multiple pages.
pardon me,
What page of the minutes?
the last page,
Okay, thank you.
page 10. It's at the top of page 10.
Got it. Thank you.
With that being said, may I get a motion to approve the consent agenda? Second, anybody?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. I would like to invite Virginia Savietto from District 2 of the school board to give us some hopefully good news and bring us up to date on what's going on.
Yeah, good evening. I'm so excited. I finally was able to make it. I actually wanted it to come and visit you since last year. So I bring you some good news, and I'm excited to start telling you that the district earned an A again for the 3rd year in a row. So I have some stats. 143 schools, 84% are A or B rated. So this is the highest total number of A and Bs in our school district history. So I'm really excited. 38 schools improved their letter grades. So 19 schools in the central region, which is this area and the area I represent, which is west of here too, improved their grades. And 13 of those 19s are in my district. So I'm really excited. We have 0 D or F schools. So that's amazing. And 85% of our elementaries are A or B, 82% are middle schools are A or B, and 83% of our high schools are A or B. And so Forest Hill High School, which is right next door, my son goes to that. He's a sophomore now. This year will be. And yeah, can you imagine? He's like 5'7". He's very excited. He wasn't growing for a while. I said, Luca, don't worry. You will be taller than mama. Not hard to do. But anyway, so yeah, he's in there an A school. So I'm so excited. I've taken a couple of people, actually a commissioner from the city of West Palm who actually covers that school. I invited him to come over. So if any of you want to meet Principal Mike Aronson and, or any of the schools, I'd love to take you and do that. I think our relationships with our schools, whether they are in the city or not, but your constituents may attend there.
Is that
I love
Commissioner
to do
Flores?
This actually, I think is Greg Wise.
Oh, Greg
Yeah,
Wise.
Commissioner Wise has this area. It's not a perfect square. So then, from that good news, we'll go to something that is not so good news. It's Amendment 3. The tax, the property tax amendment. It's called Save Our Homes from Excessive Property Taxes. So I really don't have to talk to you much about it. I attend the League of Cities, but this is for everybody who's listening to us, not just you here. So this amendment, saved our homes from excessive property tax. It's on the statewide ballot and needs 60% approval to pass. It raises the homestead exemption, right, and the non-school portion of the property taxes from $50,000 today to $150,000 in 27. And I'm not the expert here, but while school district taxes are carved out of this amendment, what worries, and I'm very concerned, is about the impact on the budget of our local government partners. And, you're one of them, right? Many local agencies that serve our students are funded by property taxes. So the healthcare district of Palm Beach County provides nurse schools. The Children's Services Council pays for children's health, early learning, and other family programs. The Palm Beach, the Sheriff's Department, they run the crossing guard. Palm Beach County itself, supports students through parks, libraries, and health and human services. So it will impact us. Another thing that I definitely want the voters to consider is the school district 1 meal referendum is going to be on the ballot, and this is a renew of it. It's not a new tax, so it boosts teachers' pay, supports school safety, and funds specialized teachers in our career and choice programs, and provides mental health support on our campuses. So the 1 meal is a renewal, not a new tax. So please help us get this passed. It generates roughly $320 million a year, and that money, again, goes 50% to teachers' pay, 25% goes to career and choice programs, and 25% goes to mental health and school security. It also funds teachers in fine arts, music, and physical education, and supplements the best teachers. So please help us get that passed, so we can renew it, let's say. So then we go to attendance. So this is like our weakest link. We need help. If you put out some sort of a newsletter, we need to make sure parents are taking their kids to school. So we continue to struggle with student attendance following COVID. All districts across the nation began experiencing problems with chronic absenteeism. We made progress with regular communication, sending to homes and families, but there's still a lot of work that we need to do. We say every minute counts, and matters, and encourage families to get their children to school on time every day. And it's easy to say, look, I'm a single mom. When Luca was little, it was really hard to get him on time, to get him, to schools when I was sick and nobody else could take him. So I'm not just reading something because it sounds good. The struggles are real for parents, but we have to find a way, find support system, and find people from church or groups that can help each other. Or if you see a neighbor that's struggling, help each other out, because the struggles are very real when it comes to maybe taking your child to school. It's not because you don't want to as a parent. Sometimes it's because it's hard. So we watch for chronic absences, which means about 10% of school days, or roughly 2 days a month. It's an early warning sign that shows up long before grades slip. So every day in school counts, and we want the same thing for our parents, and for our kids, that they are present, they're safe, and they're learning. So one ask that I have is that you help us in your communications, make it excited, and somehow we need to make sure our parents, and not all children also live with parents. They have guardians, they have grandparents, they have uncles and aunts. So not everybody has like this perfect family that we may think. So we only have about 180 days with our students. That's, my ask today. And, but I want to end on a cheerful note. So I ended up putting all the sad ones in the middle. And we have an amazing place called the Welcome Center. Have you ever heard about it? You have? Great. Not too many people have. We had a welcome center for 10 years. Nobody knew about it. And then I discovered it. I'm like, this is a gem. We do amazing work. Not too many people know about it. Now the new name is the Office of Admissions and Family Experience. I love the name, but I love Welcome Center. So now the work that they do is wonderful, but they didn't have a big space. Now we're going to give them a little bigger of a space. So this is designed as a one-stop shop for supporting families. It's overwhelming. Look, I'm in the school district, and when Luca moved from middle to high school, I was like, how do I apply for this program? And, what schools do I have? And so it is overwhelming with all the options that we have. This one-stop shop, it just solves a lot of problems for navigation. Instead of sending families to several different offices, we're bringing the steps together in one place. Families can complete registrations, vaccines, even get some initial school supplies, so many more. I mean, we get phone calls from Europe sometimes, people that are wanting to, move, and they want to start ahead. So they do an amazing job. So the Welcome Center is led by Julia Acevedo, and I have her cell number, so I can always give it away. She's super happy that I do so. And she and her team are exceptional. I mean, I don't know what words to use. I can say with confidence that the Welcome Center is the community's best first stop. Navigating the school system, like I said, it can be very overwhelming, and it is. But families don't have to do it alone. So we're here to listen, guide, answer questions, and help every family and find the support that they need. Our doors are always open, and we're ready to serve, and that's why we're the best choice. And I'm here in your community, so thank you for your time. I'm excited. If you have any questions, and if I can't answer them, I'll come back with them. But I'm so excited to be here again and share most of the great news.
Thank you, and congratulations on your great improvement in the grades. That's
Thank you.
encouraging to hear. Would you happen to know what Meadow Park is rated?
Meadow Park is one of my schools.
I
and
know.
If I'm not
be-
mistaken,
I
Meadow
believe
Park
it's
is
an
an
A.
A.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so like I said, I have all my schools here, and I'm so excited. It's really, it's really hard. So the school district has a leadership summit at the end of the school, which is in June, and back again, we just had it. It's like it almost seemed like we just had it in between, a month and a half, and the state is making it harder and harder. Now, Mr. Burke is going to talk about it, all the layers that involves to get a grade. So because we've been doing great now, instead of being at 65%, the state upped it to 70. So for still it's 68. So next year it would have to be. So again, the layers that we're getting from the state and pushing the grades, and it is not as easy, not because we don't have kids that are not dedicated. And I can just speak this from my area, right? We are immigrants. The kids are learning the language. So they may have a little trouble in the beginning when they're like they're in second grade, third grade, or fourth grade, but they do amazing. You know that our kids that are in dual language do better at state testing than the kids that only speak one language. It's amazing. So they may struggle. The ones that are learning English and, when they're little. So that's why we may not do great in our elementaries all the time. But then they are doing amazing later on, especially if they go to dual language. So again, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of, Westgate, which is, on Okeechobee Boulevard behind the neighborhoods there. They jumped from C to A. And that's a very challenging neighborhood. Parents and the demographics, amazing people though, very humble. And they're an A school this year and from a C. So we don't take it lightly. It takes a whole team when you start learning all the layers again that needs to happen for schools to move a grade or to get everything like the state wants it. I'm so proud of the work that the principals, the APs, it's a whole team, and nobody does it alone. So thank you again for asking. And again, if you in the future want to visit any of the schools for whatever reason, I'd be glad to be your tour guide.
Not,
Virginia, is there consequences to the student's tardiness?
I'm not sure exactly.
Just say elementary.
Elementary.
'Cause there are parents, it's a
Well,
parent's responsibility.
Right, but we can't say, well, you've been tardy, so now you're suspended, and then they're not in school. So we're definitely,
I don't know.
so we definitely don't go that route because we want them in school the more. So I can find out actually what happens if, but you know what I know that the principals have done and do for many reasons, even the immigration wave that we've had, that's been horrible. We missed around 7,000 students, and that's sad. That was over $50 million that this district didn't get because of the students. Kids are hiding, they're not going to school. So you know that some of the principals in my schools, they've gone knocking on doors just to say, please come back, you're safe, having conversation, picking up the phone. So I know that they do so many things behind the scenes, even our school police, they do a lot of work behind the scenes. So I could find out more, but I know that, one of the stories is that, for example, Luca's teacher, Mr. Stinser, Pine Jaw, amazing teacher. I was talking to him. I said, Mr. Stinser, how can we clone you? Because he's really good. He said, Virginia. And he told me a story about this one girl who had amazing potential. He knew she was late every day. Every day, he called the parents, and guess what the parents did? They hung up on him. Said, "Don't bother us." So he said, okay, I have to do this some other route. So he started pouring into the student in many different ways with support, and the girl started going from she got a 1 in the state testing, which is a 5 is the maximum. She got it to be a 5 at the end of the year because of all that extra support that he had to just deal with the student and forget about the tardiness because he couldn't fix that because the parents hung up the phone. Some parents just blocked the school's number. And I was like, I didn't believe it. So imagine if you have parents blocking the school, you know. There are a lot of good teachers, you know, that we have that they do a lot of work with the students because sometimes parents are not the solution, unfortunately. So, and there's so many different scenarios. It's not one fits all.
So there's a multitude of reasons other than the parents, the multi-generational raising, whether it's guardians or aunts or uncles,
Right.
just not being able to get there.
It could be that the child, you know, now is in foster care and it's another school, but now we have to bring them back, and that's not the problem being late. But I mean, it's just the times that kids
dealing
are
with the
going through
system.
different
Right.
scenarios, and I didn't even know until I started doing this job, and I'm like, oh my God, there are so many scenarios that it's so easy from the outside to go, well, you know, everybody should be on time, but it's not that easy. Not like I said before, not all our students have good families that support, and sometimes they do have good people, but they have to work multiple jobs and they're not there. So you may go, "Oh, well, he was late a couple times," but again, we would like for our students not to be late ever, but that's not possible. But if we just reinforce the need in any way or find the support that these parents need, then maybe that's how we make some progress.
So other than communications, as far as assistance with that welcome center, the new
Yeah, the
name,
welcome center, yeah, with the
how do we get that information out other than through our newsletter?
yeah, well, through your newsletter, when you talk to people.
Is it on a website? Is there somewhere that you can direct people to look for that
for the welcome
information?
center?
Yes.
Well, the welcome center has always been there. So yeah, and I'm hoping that now we are gonna get a whole site for that website revamped. So, but it's always been, we've always given amazing work because Julie has been there for many years. It's just that people didn't know about it. And I'm like, why do we have a hidden gem when it comes to customer service? So got really excited, and I started telling Mr. Burke how much we need to get this out in the open, right? Because again, if it was for me, it was overwhelming just to pick a choice program for my son, and you know, going through the pages, and I had to phone a friend and put the camera because I got stuck. It was funny. And I said, oh my God, if I go through that, imagine all the other parents that could. And it wasn't hard. It was just, I get anxious, you know? So, and, but we already do this great work. Now we're getting them to be up front, center in a little bigger space because we have computers where parents can come and maybe do some things there. And so I'm really excited about the Welcome Center. When in doubt, I always say, call the Welcome Center, and you don't have
So
to.
with the advent of technology, did you ever think about doing an app? Because everybody's always on their phone.
Right. Well, the school district has an app, so maybe.
For the, for the,
But directly, that's something I can definitely talk to Mr. Sean Cooley. He's the chief of communications.
because everybody wants convenience. Everybody
of
wants
course.
right here, you know, they don't want to go to the computer. They don't want to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
They could
that's
pick up
yeah, I'm gonna
look
write it
for
down.
a good resource.
Maybe like how.
I know some people aren't into technology, but if you have all the platforms, then that might be a useful tool.
Right. No, I always say everybody, maybe in different eras, and
Yeah.
you know, but we all have something in common, like a
Yes.
smartphone. Yeah.
One more quick question for me. You mentioned the 1 mil on the ballot. What was it last year? Was it also 1 mil?
Well, it has been for the period.
It's a renewal.
See, this is the renewal.
But at the same rate, at the same
Yeah,
bill?
right. Yeah, so this is just the renewal of it. We are not asking for anything else. It got approved in 2019. So we're hoping.
How often does it get renewed?
Well, there's, what is it? 2007. I don't know if it's like a period of what, 8 years? Because now it's 2006, 7 years. I'm not really sure if we probably had renewed it in the middle of it. The thing is that if we don't get it, the teachers that are making 90% of the teachers that are getting the highly efficient teachers are getting 10,000. Some teachers are getting 5,000. They're going to stop getting that money. And
So it all goes to teacher salaries?
No.
the 50% of it goes, and then the 25 goes to career and choice programs, and 25% goes to mental health and school security. So we're already doing it. We're not asking anything different. Just continue. The continuation of it would help everybody very much so on the 1 mil referendum.
Looks like a 4-year cycle.
Yeah, right.
Every 4 years.
So we probably did vote again
Right.
in 2020.
Right. I think it's been approved
Any other
twice.
questions?
Would have been 2000.
Well, again, congratulations on the great grades. Especially glad to hear that the 2 schools in our district have A's. And thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. And I'll stay here.
You're
for a
welcome to
bit.
come back anytime. All right, next item on the agenda is the presentation of the proposed budget. If you are having a hard time sleeping tonight, you can borrow my copy. Joe, would you like to make a presentation?
Okay, thank you. We're gonna have a PowerPoint, and let me see if this thing works. Okay, nope. No, she said the point there. We just tried it a couple of years ago. Julie? Hitting it. Yep, it's on. You want to just switch it? All right, first thing is to go over the calendar. As you know, staff's been working with the council for several months now. We started the budget process back in May. We've gone through several drafts. This is the first formal draft. It's called our proposed budget. And tonight's meeting, there's 2 main purposes for tonight's meeting. One is to approve the maximum millage rate, which is a rate that will be advertised in your trim notice that goes out in August. And it also is a rate that can be reduced but not increased in September. The second reason for tonight's meeting is to approve the dates when you actually approve the budget. It's very important now. They passed a new law at the state that you actually, anything over rollback, you have to be in a super majority. 2/3 of you have to be voting on it. So, and it's on available seats. So all 4 of you will have to vote if you go above the rollback rate in September. So that's very important that the 2 meetings are on the 8th and the 22nd of September. And that's the calendar. And that's the 2 main things we're approving. But as you know, we have a 30-page budget, but I'd like to go over, next slide, please, the basics of the message. Before we go ahead, we always like to look back. Last year, we had an award-winning bridge. We did, and we did.
And we'll never forget it.
We did receive $600,000 in grants from the state for this approximate $3 million multi-decade project. It came out beautiful. I'm glad you all did the lights and all the little extras. I think it's a complete, beautiful project, and it's a great gateway for our southeast part of the town. Next slide, please. This is going to be on the agenda, but we did order that control panel for the lift station. You can see it's on the right. It's a 5-foot by 5-foot panel for $40,000. And that's the lift station we're going to improve. Next slide, please. We did some drainage improvements in Town Hall Park. As you can see, moved a lot of dirt, improved the drainage. Next, please. We did some upgrades to our generator here on this site. Next, please. All right, this is a big one. A utility department. We've been working on this project for like 3-4 years now. The developer, Mar-a-Lago K, did not want to be in the water business anymore. So the developer, we signed an agreement that they would put all the infrastructure in for the 620 new customers, over $10 million of infrastructure they have paying for upfront, and they're sold it to the town for $1. So we are starting to add customers in the next few months of those 620 customers. But when we have 2,200 customers, as you can see, that's a big percentage of increased customers. So it's a big project for the town. Over $10 million of infrastructure we'll get for $1. We're also working on software improvements for the utility department. Next slide, please. Other accomplishments, we took out all the carpeting in the town hall. We got a new audit firm that we went through, had a successful audit. We had new software for code enforcement. If you want to look at any person's violations, you can actually do that online now. So you can look at what we were talking about on Venetian. You can actually look at what violations are active on that site, on that property. We did do two actually phases of the Pine Tree paving project. Those are before and after pictures. We believe the whole project will cost about $400,000. We did 200,000 of it, and we are budgeting another phase in this budget. Next slide, please. All right, so let's go over the general fund as a basic. It's going up 3.7% as proposed. That's a $5 million budget. It's a $183,000 increase. What we went up just in the police department for the new police union contract was about 200,000. So it's basically all going for the new police contract, and you know how all the residents felt about that police contract. We now have a fair police contract, we believe, and that's behind us. It's a 3-year contract. Next slide, please. The budget is balanced, which is always good. So we're a little ahead of the game because we'll talk about the millage rate actually decreasing. But things can change. But right now, everything's looking like we have good estimates. Next slide, please. All right, this is the important part. For over a decade, we did not move the millage rate. It was at 6.3, if you can read that. It's, and then since 2023, we've been reducing the millage rate every year, and we're proposing to do the same this year. We've been working with council, and we're pretty much all in agreement that we should be keeping with reducing the millage rate. What does this mean? So last year was 2.9. This year, we're proposing, worst case, 2.8, which is a reduction of 1.69% or 1.7. If the cost of living on your assessment is going up on homesteaded properties 2.7%, that's what it is. So if you're homesteaded, you're basically paying only a 1% tax increase to the town. So if your tax bill is $10,000 for your whole tax bill for all your government services, about 25% of that goes to the town. So $2,500, 1% of $2,500 would be $25. So that's $2 a month. I always like to put it in real numbers. So that's what the increase would be for homesteaded properties. Next slide, please. Just going over the basics of the budget. There's no staffing increases recommended. We're recommending a 4% average merit increase. The cost of living last month was at 3.5. The month before was 4.2. So it's basically not really a merit. It's basically just covering the cost of living for our employees. And there's no benefit changes that are recommended for this budget. Next slide, please. Operating costs, we approved a waste management, which is now WM, Solid Waste Authority, for 5 years, a successful contract there. Property and insurance are unknown right now, and that's the norm. We don't know those numbers until late August or September, but all trends are good, and that property's looking soft, and liability was looking very terrible with the sovereign immunity bill that was out there. But as you know, the governor vetoed that. So that did not pass. So we'll have numbers for you in September, but all the trends are looking good. Next slide, please. So this is the proposed capital projects in there, the budget right now, doing the next phase of paving on Pine Tree. We're still kept in the FERDAP grant for community park, 1 police car, and 1 public works truck. Next slide, please. All right, I always like to talk about the economy and just a little discussion how we're seeing what we've been told from other professionals. Basically, this year, the economy's still strong. We have low unemployment, and this is on a national level, and obviously, the stock market is at record highs. What's concerning on a global level is these wars, obviously in the Middle East and Ukraine, energy prices, the effect of that is energy prices and inflation. But now we even have a bigger concern. What would be the impact of the uncertainty of the potential impact of the Florida Amendment 3 proposed tax initiative? As you know, we cannot advocate for or against that, but we can only educate. So our plan is to next month and in October, we'll have on the agenda this item, how it's going to affect, we believe, on a regional level and how it's going to affect the town. Next slide, please. All right, let's go to more local. Florida, again, we're actually better on unemployment rate than we are nationally. Our housing markets are pretty strong in Florida. We are seeing some weakness on the west side of Florida. I don't know if you all know that. Even up close to Tampa, all the way down to the Naples. But Palm Beach County and South Florida have still held strong. Our values are not decreasing, they're still increasing or holding steady. As a whole county, we went up 8% on values this year. Next slide, please. All right, so that's a summary of our budget summary. And if anybody has any questions, I'm here to answer them, but thank everybody for working together again to achieving lowering the millage rate. Last year, we did not lower the millage rate at this meeting. We waited till September, but we feel confident of the unknowns right now that we can lower it now. Any questions?
You'll help explain the strategy if the referendum for the tax proposal does pass.
Well, the strategy right now is we're going to go over what we are seeing on a regional level, what other cities and counties are doing, because remember, it affects the schools. That was, Virginia, a great point that you brought up. But it also affects the counties, in my opinion, and the cities more. So we'll go over what we're seeing regionally, and then what we can do on a town level, on our expense side, on our revenue side. We'll talk about those 2 things next month. Well, the net effect is very strong for this town. It's about $1.2 million, or about 59% of our taxes.
Initially.
Over the whole 250,000, which is 2028. It's phased in. The homestead exemption, if passed, goes to 150,000 in 27. Then in 28 goes to 250,000.
So would you like a motion?
Yes.
Can you talk, do we currently have a public works truck, or is that?
No, we have a golf cart, basically.
Okay. I'm a little concerned about a new police vehicle in this budget. In the past, those requests were often accompanied by some forfeiture money, but we've raised the police budget, I think it was close to 200,000 because of the pay raise. And then we also raised it like 10% a year ago. So I'm wondering if the police vehicle can wait another year, given the increase in their budget, or find some forfeiture money to help cover for part of it.
We basically, this is how we did it in the past. And you know this, Mayor, obviously we went over this, but this is for the audience. In 2020, we purchased a lot of our police vehicles. So they're 6 years old now. Police vehicles last 5 to 6 years at most. Trucks and others last 10 years. But police vehicles do not last that long. So we need to replace some of those police cars, or all of them, the 2020s that we have mostly, because we only have two new vehicles. So Chief and I are talking about this even today. And we can hold off and talk about it after November, but right now it would be we're going to have to buy a new car eventually. So, because they're all 2020s. And we got a great deal in 2020. It wasn't a bad deal what they bought them all, because they got a great financing deal when they purchased them. But right now, we're going to wait and see.
Yeah, it seems given the uncertainty combined with the recent large increase in their budget, I'm just wondering if we could wait a year, not more than a year, but wait a year.
When you say the vehicles don't last, does it make them unsafe to drive them?
That's the main problem, correct?
And that's an issue.
Yeah. Cars, they're not trucks that go slow miles an hour, the speed limit. Sometimes they can be used for emergency purposes. That's why they have to be, well,
So in essence, are we replacing one?
oh yeah. These
So
are all, we're not adding to the force. Yeah. These 2020s will have to be sold off and salvaged.
So you'll purchase a new one and then later on we'll figure out what you get it when you
Yeah, we sell them.
off.
And we do pretty well on selling them.
What do we get when we sell them?
The latest vehicles are 15,000 or so. So, the net effect is 60,000. But I don't want to tell you because every car is different. and how it
Any
auctions.
chance of finding some forfeiture money out there?
I think the
Uh,
forfeiture money's been
We don't have any forfeiture money or not.
And I
been dwindling.
go for the electronics in the vehicle.
It-
Is that correct?
I didn't want to get into the legalities, but it can't supplant your budget. So it has to be, if it was a new police car that added to the force, that would be a no-brainer. You can do that. It could be computers and equipment, but it can't replace capital items that you already had. So,
Forfeiture money.
forfeiture.
Okay.
Interesting.
So you really can't use it for police cars.
Any other questions about the budget?
Thank you for all your help.
So knowing that this is the top and we can only go back and we're already rolling back, would you entertain a motion?
Yeah, we need a motion just to
Yes.
approve that proposed millage rate and the dates of the first and second public hearings.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the proposed millage rate of 5.8 mils for fiscal year 26-27 and set the date and time of the first public budget hearing for Tuesday, September 8th, 2026 at 6:30, and the second budget hearing for Tuesday, September 22nd at 6:30 PM.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item, the first reading of ordinance 2026-05 concerning charter amendments.
Okay, I will read that by title only. This first reading by title only of ordinance number 2026-05, an ordinance of the Town Council of the Town of Lake Clark Shores, Florida, proposing amendments to the town charter in order to increase the length of terms of office for town council members from 2 years to 3 years by further amending the town charter in order to provide that no runoff election shall be required for a town council seat so long as one candidate receives votes equal to or in excess of 35% of votes validly cast in the election, providing that a referendum election be held on March 9th, 2027, in order to present the proposed charter amendments to the voters of the town, providing a conflict clause, a severability clause, and an effective date, and for other purposes.
Joe, would you like to
Yes.
discuss?
Again, another thing I'm proud of is you all took on this big project a year ago, June of 25. And we broke up this project, which is a big project, was to have a cleanup of our charter. And our second was to see if we wanted to put anything on the on for a vote and a ballot question. We did do the cleanup. It's completed. And now we want to look at putting something on the March ballot. And I think the town attorneys, both Bill and Charlie and Emily in our office worked on this ordinance and they did a great job. I think the ballot language is very simple. And what we're proposing is the town council increase its term of office. Shall the town charter be amended to provide the term of office for each town council member be increased from 2 years to 3 years? How simple is that to understand? And the second ballot question is just as easy, amendment to reduce the likelihood of runoff elections. So I think they did a great job of making it simple and clear. Thank you. So we're ready to propose approval on this on the first reading, and you can make some changes for the second reading, but we'll have the second reading in September, and then we're scheduled to put this on the March ballot.
We won't have the second reading in August?
No, it's too short of a time.
Okay. Any public comments?
No comments.
Did I hear somebody?
Yeah, there's
Nope.
somebody else in the cloud. In-
That's the online. That's
Uh,
that's Yuli in the.
Oh, really? I thought it was in the cloud.
It's in your head.
All right. Do we have any council comments?
I don't think it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's pretty well written. Thank
I
you.
think we discussed it.
All right. Would someone like to make a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of the ordinance 2026-05.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
All right. So now we have an opening on the Code Enforcement Board. And I would like to invite the candidates forward to tell us a little bit about themselves and why they'd like to serve. Is Tony Dubois here?
Wonderful. Yourself?
Thank you for coming.
Well,
Good seeing you, Tony.
good to see you. Good to see everyone. Good to be seen.
Yeah.
That goes on. So I've been a resident of Lake Clark Shores since 2004, and I've come to appreciate the quality of the town and what it offers everyone in the community, the feel of it, and how well maintained the town has been. So I want to serve on the board because I think we all need a fair and just voice. We need to maintain the town's appearance. The gentleman's point, I vote. It's uglier on the backside than it is on the front side. And it really takes away from the value of the town, what we've built over all these years. I've been a banker, commercial banker my entire adult life. I've dealt with complex issues. I've worked with regulatories. I've worked with community leaders to resolve those issues and always find a fair and just way to address them. I've also been extremely active in communities or chambers, leadership Palm Beach County. I've served as treasurer. I've served on many boards. I'm currently treasurer of mental health organizations of Mental Health Americas at Palm Beach County, Palm Beaches. I've been asked to be treasurer for Promise Kept, and recently asked to be on the finance committee for St. Anne's Catholic Church. So I'm highly involved. I'm highly involved in the community, and I really take it an honor to help our community out because I live here so long. So with that, short version.
Any questions for Tony?
For your lovely letter, Tony.
Yeah, I do better in writing than I do speaking.
A lot of us do.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for your comments, and thank you for offering to serve. We received an email from the other candidate, Anna Rich, that said, I think she's got tied up. She'd like to be involved in the community. Her parents have lived in Lake Clark Shores for over 25 years on Westlake, and she and her husband also live on Westlake since 2019. So I think if anybody has any other questions, it's time to vote.
Yeah, for the audience sake, we have a ballot. They need to sign it. And so it can't be a secret ballot. So we'll collect the ballots.
Come on in here, back.
Tony, congratulations. And
Thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you. We look forward to having you on the board. Congratulations or condolences.
yeah, and there's a meeting tomorrow night.
Welcome. Jump right in.
And you speak as well as your letter, so don't say that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, next item on the agenda is a solid waste collection, a potential change in the schedule. For me, it's a no-brainer, but I'd love to hear what everyone else thinks.
I think it's a no-brainer too, so someone wants to do a motion. I think option 2 is the way to go.
That I have a no-brain.
It's, because I think the south part of town runs well with those dates. The north part of town has these crazy dates. So we're not going to entertain in those dates, but we can switch to a Wednesday, Saturday. That's option 1. But option 2 is keeping everything the same for the south and just changing the north, and everybody in the town will be the same. So,
For the audience, could you just
oh,
elaborate a little bit of what you're, it's simplified for us, but just
sure.
so they understand what's going on?
What our waste collection right now is, there's 2 different schedules for what is north of Forest Hill and what is south of Forest Hill Boulevard. And what is north of Forest Hill Boulevard, I don't even want to repeat what the current, because it's like every day is a different day, but it's a strange schedule.
Convoluted.
So it's all over the place. But on the south, it actually makes sense. It's the normal Monday and Thursday. So I've been working with Waste Management for over a year, WM now, about, I don't understand why this town this size needs to have 2 schedules. Let's make it 1 schedule. So I worked with them and they said they can do it. The Monday, Thursday, it's just going to take them a little longer time. I think they said one of the cons was it's going to be early next year when they can implement this, but they need to know your direction. So we will start a campaign on educating the public, whatever you choose, but
So it's,
just need a motion.
so it's Monday, Thursday versus Tuesday, Friday, where we have it now? Monday was the bulk and the vegetative, and Tuesday, Friday was the pickup.
To my knowledge, it's exactly what you have right now, in anybody in the South, which
Okay,
it says,
that's what you said.
it says Monday, garbage, waste, and trash, and Thursday, garbage and recycling.
No,
Am I
you're
correct?
right.
It's Tuesday, Friday.
It's Tuesday, Friday.
I know when I put my recycles out.
I don't do that in my house.
It's Tuesday, Friday is the garbage pickup, with Friday being recyclables, and
You're-
Monday is the
You're
vegetarian.
right. It's a little crazy too. What we have right now is Monday, Tuesday, Friday. You're right. I'm sorry. So it is a little different. There will be a little tweak on yours too.
So the problem with option 1 is that the yard waste would go out on Wednesday.
Right.
And we changed the ordinance or the ordinance on yard waste so people could do it on the weekend and have their 3 days to do it. So I think that
No,
that alone would disqualify option 1.
No, I had no problem with the bulk, keeping the bulk on Monday, bulk and vegetative. It's the Tuesday, the Monday, Thursday that's gonna just put a adjustment.
Bridget's absolutely right. It is a 1-day change.
It is. I didn't see that. But that's normal. This is what normal municipalities do. It's 2 days a week. It's usually Monday, Thursday, or I didn't even remember that there's 3 days. I never memorized this because it's that bad. So I just always look at the website and read it off the website. That's how, because how do you remember it? I mean, it's crazy.
In this case, I put it out on Monday and Thursday at night.
You would know it. You have to live it. But me, I would just read it off my website because it's that convoluted. But I think it's going to go to more standardized if you go with option 2.
Did they offer Tuesday, Friday? Like Bridget's,
No, they don't want to be here 3 days.
no, not just Tuesday and Friday.
No, they did not offer that. This was, I asked for
That would be consistent with what we currently have.
I asked for all the options they can give me, and these were the 2 options they can give me.
How would you all like to proceed?
I would make a motion that we accept option 2. That's the better option,
By far.
in my opinion.
I'm fine with that.
And can we get a second?
Did someone make a motion?
He made a motion.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
I hope they have capacity for the yard stuff, Joe. Because that's still an issue, you know.
It's better, and we keep talking.
But if they're doing everything,
it-
but if they're doing everything in one day, it's gonna be a challenge?
They transitioned from a third party to all of it now under WM.
Yep.
And it's a transition, but they're doing better. But thanks for that comment. I'll,
But into this scenario, would the yard waste be a different truck than the garbage waste?
yes, it's,
Yeah.
if, well,
It's, so
some.
two trucks would come by on Monday.
I won't say 100%, but yes, but there's the clamshell that, but some trucks pick up small
Right.
yard waste. So some haulers do it differently,
Mhm.
but the clamshell is always a different truck.
Okay.
No, because that's what they do. The clamshell gets the big piles and then another truck comes and picks up the little piles. Because I've seen it where they go out and get all the big piles and then leave all the small piles, and sometimes they come back and get it on Tuesday. But if it's all Monday, there's going to be, well, we'll wait and see. It's still going to be a challenge for them.
Mayor, there's a comment in the back.
Oh, yes, please. Tony? What's that?
2 days versus 3 days.
That he's asking if this makes their life easy. It probably does, but that was not where I was going with. I wanted to make our life easier. This is for the town.
When can we negotiate a discount?
I tried that. I brought that up.
I like the way you think,
If you
Tony.
don't think he
Tony
goes
and
for
I
a
think the
discount,
same always.
he's a numbers guy.
That's why I like Tony. But I
Yeah,
did ask.
because the north side was really, had like 3 different days. It was worse than us. There was more days over there. Oh, so you get it.
Oh, so can you explain it then? It's that bad.
Tuesdays, it's
The vegetative.
vegetation in a box and you bag it. And then Tuesday is recycling and trash and Fridays.
Wow.
Exactly. What he said. So it's going to be real simple.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot simpler. Monday, Thursday.
Next item, we are in need of a new lift station. And Joe, would you like to make some
Yes.
comments on this?
Yeah, I'll give a little bit more history on this one. The town operates 18 lift stations. They're mainly at Seminole Manor and Hypoluxo Village, and we have 3 in our town. As you can imagine, there's a lot of maintenance with lift stations. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of pumps, a lot of electrical equipment. Our staff, our team does a great job here on fixing things all the time. Obviously we work 24/7. They fix a lot of things without contractors. But every so often you got to renovate the whole lift station. So that was the picture of that lift station. We're looking at lift station number 1, which is the most important lift station because all of the lift stations in Seminole Manor pump into lift station 1. We budgeted $300,000 to completely rehabilitate that lift station. We did really well because we said, let's separate the project because the control panel itself, which is all electrical, I showed a picture of it, is an 8-month lead time to order that control panel. So what we did was we took it out of the contractor's hand. We saved up markup. We saved sales tax when we do that. We don't pay sales tax. When they order it, they have to pay sales tax. And we also got what we wanted. And we made the project a lot easier for the contractor to bid on it because they already have that control panel. They're already seeing it. They know how to install it. So we got that. We ordered that 8 months ago. We have it in hand, $42,000. And then we went out to bid on the work. There's no reason, in my opinion, to go out on sealed bids on this because there's only a handful of contractors that can do this kind of work. And they're very busy and they're very expensive. So we contacted 3 companies. The 3 companies are, one of them bid $135,000 roughly. Another one bid $400,000 and change. And another one who did our work three years ago declined, even though they're a great contractor, because their workload is just over. They just have too much work right now. So we were lucky to get one good price, one excellent price. So the $300,000 project now is not even $200,000. So that's the good news. So I recommend that we approve that contract, but also since we have so much money left over and the contractors mobilized, it costs thousands of dollars to mobilize these kind of companies. So while they're mobilized, we'd like them to inspect some of our manhole structures and other things for leaks, because leaks cost us money. Anything go into the sewer system, we have to pay, and we pay almost $700,000 a year to treat sewage. So it's a very expensive thing for leaks. And some of these leaks we repair. Some of them are on the manhole cover, the seals on them. Those are the ones that are easy. Some cracks we can see in the structures of pipes. Others we can't see because they're 15 feet deep, they're in pipes. So while they're mobilized, we'd like to see if we can work with them to see if they find any of these leaks that we have. And I recommend that you give me permission to do any change orders up to $75,000, so to do real-time change orders while they're mobilized. So those are the four things I'm asking for. It's a long recommendation or motion, but basically one is to approve the contract, the second is to waive the formal bidding, the third is to negotiate a contract with legal staff, but I believe you've already looked it over. And the fourth is to authorize me to, for up to $75,000 in change orders, which obviously I'm gonna let you know if I sign any of those change orders.
And this is coming out of utilities.
It's all utilities money, correct? And it's still under budget.
I understand that once they're on site, if they find something that it actually should be repaired, I agree completely. That's a 55% increase in the project. I hope that if we spend any extra money, it's not to do what the initial 134,000 is for, but it's a separate and distinct problem, and it's not just runaway billing by the contractor for the initial project.
We will have an engineer on site to periodically reviews, and we will review the work too. So we know what we specified. You see, it's all a detailed list of what the bid is. So they would have to prove to us there's a change order needed. We're not expecting any change orders, but something might come up, but mostly for that money is for unexpected leaks to find any unexpected leaks.
No one wants to make this motion.
I'll make.
Someone jump in.
Anybody have any other comments before we?
Bridget's a great reader.
I understand the project and the specific, I don't mind reading it. That we can make a motion to approve the industry standards proposal in the amount of $134,775,000 for the lift station number 1 rehabilitation project. Number 2, waive the formal competitive bidding process because if it's not advantageous to the town to do the specialized nature of the work, the limited number of qualified contractors, and the demonstrated cost savings achieved through the negotiated proposal process. Number 3, authorize the town manager to negotiate and execute the agreement with industry standard subject to legal review and approval by the town attorney. And 4, authorize the town manager to approve any necessary or cost-saving change orders related to the lift station number 1 rehabilitation project or other components of the town wastewater collection system in an amount not to exceed a cumulative total of $75,000.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, and special thanks to Bridget.
Yes. Normally this one takes the long ones. The next item that I asked to be put on the agenda is Yes in God's Backyard. I've been working with a committee for Palm Beach County on this for the last 9 or 10 months now. It's a really lovely piece of legislation put together by the good folks in Tallahassee. In 2025, they put what's known as the local option, giving municipalities the right to grant houses of worship to build housing on their land without seeking a zoning change. Then in 2026, this year, the legislature strengthened it and made it not only that they had the right to do it without even consulting the municipality or assuming they had 3 acres or more. The first one is gives more flexibility to the municipality, and only 10% of the housing needs to be affordable housing, which is 120% of AMI, which is roughly $125,000 income. It could be even market rate. The rest of it could be market rate. The state mandate this year says if you want to do it without even consulting the municipality, 40% of the units have to be affordable. In other words, income of like 125 or down. I've put a lot of time and effort into working on this for the county, and I would like to us consider either an ordinance supporting it or some sort of resolution supporting it. I think it's the crux of it is Florida needs housing, and churches are the largest landowners. So you merge the two together and help to solve the housing crunch.
I'd love to hear staff's thoughts.
Well, obviously, the mayor did a good job of what's the positives. On the negative side, we haven't been approached by any church that they would like us to look into this, or, obviously, we would entertain that if a church came by and said, are we going to pass that ordinance? Because I think it's an opt-in ordinance.
I don't know that you need, get over here. I don't know that you need to opt in. It's just there and they would come in and say they want to do something and then,
Well, if it's under 3 acres,
right.
you'd have to opt in, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
A number of municipalities are passing ordinances
I
across the
think
state.
it's an ordinance. That's what I heard. I'm not sure. We haven't put any legal time into this, so sorry, Bill, for John the Slans,
Yeah.
but we didn't put any legal money into it yet. But I believe you're correct. I think municipalities would have to pass an ordinance because it's an opt-in. That's my understanding. One of the churches, like you said, is Latter-day Saints on Carandus. That's over 3 acres, so they can do the second bill, the House Bill 1389, but they would have to do the 40%. So it's up to you, but I have not been approached. So if I'm not approached, I don't like to spend legal money or any kind of money if we don't actually been approached.
So I understand there's only 4 churches in our,
Yes.
Yes.
and so there's only 1 of 4 that really qualify. The other 3 would have to come to opt in, or we'd have to have some type
Would
of
have to do
ordinance.
the local option.
Right.
That's my understanding, yes.
And then one of them could just do whatever they want without coming to ask our permission.
And knowing that local, the church exemptions and everything else, this doesn't help any kind of income coming into any kind of resources to our town. I support faith-based organizations, but also need, with this advent of the tax amendment coming up and us potentially losing revenue, looking at better options to bring more revenue into the town. So I don't know if somebody came to us, then I would consider it in the future. But I don't think we have time to think about it.
We don't lose any revenue by doing it. And in fact,
You don't gain any revenue either.
no, but in fact, you can actually. In option 1, we have flexibility to set parameters. So we could set a parameter where they have to make some tax payments to us. In option 2, we got no control. They can do height, they can do density, they can do floor area ratio, they can do parking, they could just make up their own rules as far as they
Well,
want.
on the one that has the 3 acres, they can do whatever they want.
Pardon me?
The one that has the 3 acres already, they don't need our approval.
They don't. But I would just, because this is a nice movement going on in the state, and a number of towns and cities are passing ordinances, I would like to consider, if not an ordinance, at least a resolution in support of it.
I actually did run a faith-based affordable housing organization for 4 years. I served on its board for almost 6. It's something that I have a lot of experience in, and I worked in DC for the National Low Income Housing Coalition. I can tell you that whether or not, where my feelings stand on whether this is nice as a gesture or not, any type of affordable housing at any level in someone's neighborhood brings up a lot of emotions for people. And I would want to have a considerable amount of public input on whether this is something they would like to see happen.
You see,
And-
that's,
I'm gonna finish really quick.
okay, sorry.
And then I also would really stand on the fact that no one's asking for this right now. The churches can come to us at some point. We can do this in the future. And why spend the money to make a nice gesture?
Well, I
Because
don't think
it's
a
the
referendum
town's
costs, I mean,
money.
a resolution costs any money. Just, but to get to your affordable, option one only has to be 10% affordable. Okay.
I mean,
So,
that's my statement on.
It's,
the entire-
it's not bringing in the riffraff. If,
Oh, I wouldn't describe anyone who's extremely low income or low income as riffraff. And it's not, I just would never use those terms. I just would want input from the public because affordable housing at any level, the type of units that they're going to build. I mean, we're not talking about the houses that people are used to seeing in this neighborhood. So I would want considerable amount of public input before I would agree to do something like this.
Do you have any thoughts, Greg?
well, let's support some public input on it then. Let's request, I should say, some public input.
Well,
I can agree with that. And nobody has come to you, Joe?
Not to my knowledge, no.
So listen, I feel like we're in limbo, total limbo until November.
Yeah.
I don't really think a lot of decisions that are
Right.
gonna do that. I mean, after that, once we know what our direction could be, then we can consider, talk, let people have input. It's always good to
Yeah.
let people have input. I
I've-
have, you know,
I've been working with a number of churches not in Lake Clark Shores on this, and I can tell you assuredly, they are being bombarded by developers who
sure.
see land to put stuff on. It's not if,
Send them
it's
over.
not if, but
Don't
when.
Look at Forest Hill Boulevard.
It's not if, but when. It's happening.
No,
Yeah.
you're correct. You know who the largest landowner in Palm Beach County is?
The Catholic Church.
No,
No,
they're the second.
the public school
The
district.
county.
Oh, yeah.
County
but-
has the most land.
Yes.
And then the Catholic Church is next.
Yeah.
It's amazing the land that church owns.
In fact. the
Both don't pay
Catholic-
taxes.
The Catholic Church is doing this already.
Yes.
No, I mean, they're doing a Ugby bill.
I know.
Had to put that in there.
Yeah, they're doing,
It's, I would say I would prefer to just wait until after November.
okay,
That's what I would prefer to do. Let's find out what our direction can be, and then we can go from
Okay.
there.
again, I
I'm
don't.
not opposed to, listen, you work hard for what you have here. You want to keep the standard of living, you want to be helpful. But when we don't or can't provide direction, that's gonna become an issue somewhere. Just my opinion. I think, I don't know. Even with the 3 acres, I think there should always be input and guidance to what's happening and what's going in. When they can just do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. if
I
they've got 3
understand,
acres.
I know
We,
that's
we
the problem.
got, we got no say.
Home rule.
Right. I don't see that church doing that, but, you never know.
Look, the developers are making sweet deals.
Well, that's the thing.
They're saying, we'll
They
pay
have-
for everything,
they
we'll
have-
put it up.
They have the land over there.
There-
We'll pay for everything, we'll put it up, you
There
get a
is
percent.
Price for that
So you know what?
They
the
get-
deal
North
for
Park
our
is?
residents though.
Chris, you know where the North Park is? That was very contentious because they wanted to build townhouses there. That was a big deal because the residents kind of don't really want that density.
Yeah,
I'm all for revamping the commercial corridor.
Mhm.
That provides
Agree.
income for the town.
Agree.
And once again, we still need to know what our direction is gonna be. If this referendum passes, it's gonna cost the town, and Joe and I have had these discussions. It's not a tax savings. I don't care what they say to me. It's a tax shift,
Yeah.
period.
bingo.
So we still need to know what our direction is gonna be, and then we'll have more viable information then at that time. That's my feelings.
All right. Let's go to status reports. Chief England. And I thank the chiefs for coming up. I've got airplane ear that hasn't cleared up yet, so they've agreed to come to the better mic here.
I don't think I had an opportunity to stand up here since Chief West retired. Did have an opportunity to see him a couple times. He's doing very well also. So thank you, Mayor. Attached to the agenda, for tonight's meeting is the normal statistics that we produced at the police department. Would also like to pass on to you a couple things. One, over the last couple of months, we have had some complaints about homeless individuals walking through town, being in the parks, littering and whatnot that. So about a month and a half ago, we partnered with South Florida Water Management District, and we addressed some of the encampments that they had on their property, which is basically from the sound wall next to the railroad tracks to the water, meaning west. Removed several camps, trespass warning those individuals, and Solid Waste Authority ended up removing
Is
the
it east or west?
west. South Florida Water Management has from the wall
Right,
down to the water and then through the water and then up onto Venetian.
okay.
Now, from the wall to the east is Florida Department of Transportation. We also partnered with them a couple weeks later because some of the encampments that were on the west side of the wall moved to the east side of the wall. And we were having the same problem. So we then met with them. They brought their security out there. We explained the situation that we were experiencing with them, and they wanted the individuals removed. So they started asking those individuals to move, and they started removing all the belongings or whatnot. So we received trespass warnings from both of those organizations, and we've been keeping an eye on them. So hopefully that has been addressed. We have been receiving a couple complaints of individuals in the parks who were littering, sleeping, causing disturbances or nuisances. Our officers, when they get kind of calls, have gone out to the parks. On one occasion, we ended up making a couple physical arrests for various crimes and trespass after warnings. Some individuals we had to trespass because of the nuisances they were calling. And then some individuals are just, sitting there enjoying the park, and obviously there's no problem with that. But we're addressing those problems each and every time, and I do want to thank the public. As I've always asked, please call the police department immediately so we can get out there and address those types of issues. And we have ethics getting out there immediately and interacting with those individuals and addressing it accordingly. What we're also going to be doing is next month, there is a sober day, which is September 14th.
May I ask
Please,
the question about the food that was being left? Did you ever get called out on that?
on the food,
Yeah, there was multiple containers being left out, like.
that's the trash I was talking about, yes. So some of it was removed by Solid Waste Authority. Some of it was removed by FDOT, and then we actually sent our crew out there on a couple occasions. So anytime we see it, we immediately address it one way or the
It
other.
appeared like somebody was trying to help them. I don't know, but it was pretty well packaged food.
Soup, soup cans and stuff all the way through, plasticware and whatnot. But yes, we removed that immediately.
I mean, they were like the banquet style containers.
Styrofoam containers.
No,
Yep.
no, metal, the metal ones that we.
Oh, the metal aluminum ones like you do with the
Yes.
little stoves underneath of them.
Yeah, so they were like, I mean, they had full, I saw them, they were full, and somebody complained, and then they took them away, and then I saw another day they came back, then eventually they went away, so apparently it was addressed.
Right. It is being addressed and it's being monitored. So I would like to just recognize Corporal Dominguez, who took that initiative a couple times with those organizations that I mentioned. Again, I do want to talk that we're also partnering with Palm Springs Police Department during the month of September. September 14th is a National Sober Day. Where certain private entities go out and they interact with homeless people and help them deal with certain issues that they're experiencing that are leading to their being homeless to begin with. So I'm going to actually meet with Chief Silva in a week and a half, and we're going to talk about what we can do to partner together, because obviously the people that traverse through our community equally traverse through the community. I do want to mention that August 10th is the first day of school. And with the first day of school, obviously comes a lot of traffic concerns and pedestrian concerns. So the police department, as well as a lot of municipalities in Palm Beach County, are going to be putting a full foot forward on traffic and initiatives around the times of bus stops, drop off and pickups, the walking paths. We do have a Palm Beach County School District bus stop in our city, so we'll be paying attention to that also. And then with the normal Pine Tree, Venetian, Forest Hill Boulevard and the complaint. So we're going to be moving our focus from the homeless to that, but again, still monitoring the homeless. So that is my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Since you brought up everything at the parks, I was going to actually ask Joe about this, but when someone rents our park for a party,
Mhm.
are they allowed to have alcohol there?
I think that's part of the contract that they're not allowed to have alcohol. I have a copy of the contract
I've
right here.
had very alarming experiences twice there with my son, my husband, other families, but then very large parties, lots of alcohol, men with their beers, some of them pushing their kids, some of them just like standing there talking. It was just surprising to me and felt uncomfortable. And there's a mix of like, our neighborhood kids running through this party because it's our park to be at. So
Correct. So anybody who rents either a park or a pavilion does have to sign a contract, put a deposit down. And then if they violate that contract, they are subject to losing their deposit. So that'd be again, another situation. If you see something like that, especially if there's alcohol and drinking and, disturbance, call us immediately. Then the officer can go out there, make contact, validate, the concern. And then we would work with town to determine whether it's appropriate to suspend their deposit.
So confirming there is no alcohol allowed.
That's what I was looking at. I have a copy of the contract right here in front of me. I just want to double check that.
Well, I don't want to be considered a lawbreaker.
Bands, DJs,
So-
PA, large speakers,
Hot.
car
Yeah,
stereo.
that's a-
Look, if we can't have it at the barbecue.
Yeah, moderation seems to be the key.
Moderation's all the key. And, if there's a mom and dad out there having a glass of wine, mind their own business, we're not going to go out there and
Right,
stir it up.
this
But
is a different.
if there's a whole lot of different circumstances and there is alcohol, just call us and let's go out there and evaluate it.
Okay.
This is 3 pages right now, so I'm not able to find it specifically, but I can get back with you for that specific answer.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I love the new cameras.
You love the new camera. Which newest camera?
You
The
know
body,
where they're at?
the body worn cameras, the flock cameras,
No, not.
there's a lot of cameras in the community.
Yes, I know. And I'm going to tell you a little story.
Go for it.
Somebody ran against me years and years ago and we got to have cameras. We got to have cameras. When I said, did you know there's like almost 36 cameras in the town of Lake Clark Shores? That's increased. And they didn't know that. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing
Mm.
because everybody's watching. So the new cameras are right there at the South Bridge when you go through the no wake zone. And I
Okay.
noticed a lot of the new no wake signs.
Mm.
I'm on the water quite a bit.
Mm.
Now they must be new because I've been out of town for 2.5 weeks and I got home on Saturday and of course I'm like, I haven't been on my boat in 2.5 weeks. Let's go. And I noticed them. I said, I'll be darned. Look at that. So I like it. It's a good thing. There still is a problem with the jet skis.
Yes, there is.
They're inconsiderate. Not all of them. There actually are some ones that are considerate. I know the house you're talking about back over there. They happen to be extremely inconsiderate because they take up the whole C-51 and, there's boating etiquette. So
Mhm.
I like the new cameras there. Were you aware of that?
They're not our cameras.
I understand, but I'm saying.
But
were
we
you
can find
aware
out
of
whose cameras there are if we need it.
Whose
Yeah.
are they?
The FWC?
Probably somebody's.
So there's a lot of cameras in the community that are utilized. Obviously, we have 7 flock cameras. However, DOT has cameras on the roadways. There's private cameras that are out there. SWC or the railroad track has some cameras along there. So if we needed to do an investigation, obviously we could reach out to whoever camera it is and determine whether it actually captures video or if it's a live feed or
that's
something
the-
like that.
It's a good location because this is the problem down there at the South Bridge. As you're traveling south on the lake
Mhm.
and you're coming through and you should be at
No
no
wake.
wake, which is bow down,
Mhm.
the jet skis flying around the corner are an issue. So there are
Dangerous.
cameras there now that can capture that if case there's a problem. There's
Mhm.
gonna be somewhere somehow because some of it's the younger riders, the older riders are, they're just out there tooling along doing their thing. But young people are daredevils and they push the limit sometimes. So there are new cameras there.
So I know you do hours on the water. Maybe there should be like this weekend, we're going to focus on C-51. Next weekend we'll focus, because as bad as Lake Clark Shores is, Lake Clark, C-51 is a lot worse, specifically for that reason. So, and I know your boat just, goes around. Maybe stationed somewhere over there in that little Y over there, because you got to catch them in the act, and they're crazy. So whatever time you go out there, maybe set a specific zone that you're going to monitor.
So much like police officers are assigned specific areas of the community to go out and do traffic enforcement, and it's usually related to either complaints or traffic crashes. Officer Tui, who's
Yeah.
predominantly the individual who goes out on the marine boat, he's given specific assignments and areas to go out. One is the jet skis around the launch for people who are jumping up and
Right.
down, the no-wake zone by the head of the lake, and then the alleyway all the way down along I-95, because those are predominantly where all of our complaints are coming from.
Specifically further south, because that's really no wake zone, and I've had residents complain.
On the backside of Venetian.
Oh, they're more than no wake zone. They're going 20, 30, they're going full speed, whatever their full
Which,
speed is.
which part?
Over by where Greg lives on the
Calls it
51.
Keller.
Oh,
We call
oh,
it,
yeah.
the locals Keller Canal. That's what we've always called it. But I have to say, I mean, there's 8 jet ski traffic stops and not one citation issue.
That's what I was
which
gonna
is
say.
Surprising.
So what I spoke with Officer 2 and asked him, what is your methodology when you
Right.
conduct that? So he says if he stops somebody for the first time, he gives them a warning. If it's not an egregious situation, if it's an egregious situation, he says he gives them a ticket, period, end of story. And if they are a repeat offender, he says that he would then give them a citation also. So that's his methodology. It's very similar to traffic stops and speeding. If an officer stops somebody and they're going, 10 miles and over and they've never stopped them before, they're more likely to give them a warning. However, if they're going 20 miles over or more, or if they've been stopped multiple times, they're more likely a citation. So that's his methodology as far as
His
how he does
presence
his
is
traffic
known.
stops.
When he's out there, they know.
They do.
Especially when they put in at the boat ramp.
And we have a lot less complaints when he's out there in the water. And it's like speeding on Forest Hill Boulevard. If you have 2 cop cars on the road, no one's going to speed.
Right.
So when he's out there, so we try to put him out there according to the dates and times of either the volume or when we receive the complaints.
Weekend afternoons is the time that, not mornings, afternoons.
He's not on the water before noon. And typically it's between, by the time he's
Like-
on the water, it's usually between 1 and sunset on Saturdays, Sundays.
Usually
Then,
the
but the
fourth-
holidays we were out there.
It's usually 4 to sunset is when you're gonna get them. They're starting to come out later and later. I guess,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
Yeah, you're
hotter.
right.
Not only that, they're trying to get, a majority of them are either coming from
Lake Osborne.
Hilton over there, or they're
Mhm.
putting it at Lake Osborne. We have our share here, but when they're trying to make it there, they're pushing the limits because a lot of them have no lights.
And they've been here after dark too.
Right.
So
And
it's
I've been out on the boat also and ran into adults and we did a traffic stop on them for, going too fast and not going underneath the new bridge, and causing wake. And it wasn't adults and they were going from one part to the other.
Get that award-winning bridge.
I'm sorry, our award-winning bridge.
Yeah, Joe will let you forget it. But no, they're also running close behind each other and they're running over each other's wake, which is even worse than just
The
speeding.
presence is great and the stops are great. And I'm sure he's doing safety checks while he's doing those stops, correct?
He does.
Yes, good. That just helps. They know then that we're paying attention.
We're paying attention.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Chief, one more question.
Yes, ma'am.
I see that we have an enormous number, 45, of code enforcement violations remaining in violations. That's a huge number. What is there a common theme? Is it like dirty driveways or, I mean, why so many?
Well, if a citation or a code ordinance is issued after the month's code hearing, it is a holdover to the
Got it.
following month.
Okay.
And it's not cleared until the day before the hearing.
Got
So
it.
the day before hearing, if he has 25 cases, he'll drive around and check out 25 properties and he may close 20 of them.
So if,
So it's more of a holdover for the next meeting than it is actual multiple month violations.
so Tony has a lot of reading to do tonight?
tomorrow.
Several pages.
Thank you.
No, and I know there was one house, is it the Barbie house? It's still being worked on. So there was multiple set of violations that they were ongoing.
Yes,
Right.
that is correct.
be-
So that's a big,
But I drove by there just yesterday and they're making progress.
No, but
Much more than
that-
they made the first year I was here.
that may contribute to the number of
Yeah, good.
violations.
That would be an example of a true holdover that's still an open case.
Any other
Thank you,
questions for the
Chief.
chief?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Chief Martinez.
We're getting the royal treatment. Everybody's coming right up here.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
We haven't seen you in a while. Good evening.
Was your last meeting?
Yes.
You guys pushed
Yeah.
it back.
It's just been,
Pleasure to
it's
be
been
here.
long for us because it's
Right.
been 6 weeks. Yeah.
Next month we see each other twice.
Mm.
Well, thank you for having us. We ran 31 calls this last month of June in Lake Clark Shores. 26 medical, 2 alarms, 2 investigations, 1 fire. Turnout time's 50 seconds. Again, that's what I praise. That's what I harp on with my crews. Get out of the truck, get out of the station, get into the truck, respond
Excellent.
quickly. So I'm very happy with those times. Minute 30s during the day, 2 minutes at night. So they're basically at half the time to get out. So I applaud them. Just want to give you some updates. Drone team, we have a state one, type 1 drone team. There's only 2 in the state. One's in Tallahassee, and we're the other one. Basically means during fires, during search and rescues, during any type of incident, we can use our drone teams to pinpoint a fire. If it's a large fire, our incident commanders, our battalion chiefs on scene get to use these drones. We have a handler next to us They'll put the drone in the air and they'll tell us exactly where some hotspots are on the fire. It's very useful. It's worked very well. Just yesterday, we rescued a dog out in South Bay that went missing for a few hours, like 4 or 5 hours. They found them out there in the sawgrass of the South Bay and the cane fields. They found them through the drone team. If you don't follow us already, Palm Beach County Fire Rescue on Facebook, Instagram, you get to see the videos there. It's pretty cool. You get to see how it happens. That just happened yesterday, so I thought I'd bring it up. I think
That's
it's pretty
awesome.
Cool. There's only 2 teams in the state. Basically, type 1 means we're fully functional. Up to 72 hours can deploy anywhere, and it's the highest level of drone team you can have. That being said, yesterday we did have a fire close by, not in Lake Clark Shores, but we did have a patient that was a cat and a hamster,
I saw.
and we provided some oxygen to them. And just remember, your pets, when you're not home, they're humans too, or they're part of the family. I have 3 dogs myself. We're outnumbered at my house, so I know it's important. So take care of your dogs, take care of your puppies.
Sorry, are you saying you gave oxygen to a hamster?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, they have little.
Yeah, we have special masks to give
Wait,
oxygen if.
Just saying, I can, like,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, if you think of the firefighters showing up.
how big is the mat?
Yeah, yeah. So we have different size masks. Some for cats and dogs. Yeah. Some for cats and dogs. It's just.
be happy.
More than a decade.
Yeah, yeah. We carry them, and it happens pretty often whenever we go into a home and find a trapped animal. We'll give them some oxygen if they're drowsy, if they're not.
Little mouth to mouth
functioning.
with the hamster?
Yeah, we stopped doing that, so we started doing little mouth. If you look at the mask, they're very.
That's why it's also important that you document
Are you
on,
watching
you
a video
docu,
of it?
that you document on your house that you do have pets.
Yes,
so
and
if
I
you're not
I can
home-
provide those stickers. And
I
put them
have
out
that
here.
sticker, yeah.
Yeah, you can put it in the front of your house. It'll let us know. There's a count for dogs and cats. If you put a 2 next to the dogs, we know at least if you're not home, if we don't see any cars in the driveway, we still know there's a possibility of 2 dogs. So we'll still treat it a good search and rescue. So that happened yesterday, and I thought I'd bring it up. One of the main things I wanted to talk about was we have a battalion chief that works in the area. He's one of your battalion chiefs. Battalion chiefs basically work 24-hour shifts. They run commands on these big calls. They'll be in charge. This battalion chief, his name's Eric Johnson. He was just deployed to Venezuela 2 weeks ago, and he assisted in the 8-day rescue with USAR with the Task Force 2. And I think it's the longest recorded recovery of somebody still alive. So I wanted to give him some major kudos because he does respond in your area. He is around here.
Wasn't it like 7 or 8 days?
It was 8 days, 8-day long rescue. Somebody entrapped from the earthquakes in Venezuela, and he's responding to your zone. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have. I mean, there was multiple people involved in this. We sent 3 people of our own, but just one of them works in this area. So I think it's pretty cool. That's about it. That's all I have. If you have any questions.
What alarm calls you respond to?
Well, so alarm calls could be carbon monoxide.
Oh,
It could be a fire alarm. It doesn't mean that it's an actual alarm.
Could be a medical alarm.
Medical alarms, fall alarms. Now your phones have crash detectors. We get a lot of those. Sometimes those are false alarms. Because if you drop your phone in the car and it has auto detection, and we'll get deployed and dispatched there. And besides that, CRD, community risk reduction. Again, we have multiple classes we would love to teach the community free of charge. All you got to do is sign up. All you got to do is ask me. I'll get you involved, and they'll come out here and they'll teach you a bunch of everything: fall prevention, fire prevention, new mothers. There's just so many classes, and I just want to make sure I express that those classes are there for the community.
When you say new mothers you mean
Educating them.
like CPR, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and seat belts, car seats,
Right.
and there's so much.
The back seat when you get out of the car.
Yes, and they're leaving kids in the car.
Live with that?
Oh yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Leaving kids in the car.
Oh, that happens. I mean,
Yeah.
some of our vehicles have the signs on them. It's more common than you think. People
Unfortunately.
live busy lives and they just get obsessed with the phones
Sure.
and life's happening and they forget.
Life is
It
very
happens.
busy,
It happens very often. So we have some of those signs on the side of our vehicles. You'll see them sometimes. Basically means check the back seat. A lot of the newer vehicles have the safety feature. I'm sure some of your vehicles do it. If it detects something in the back seat, as soon as you turn off your car, it'll tell you. Make sure you take a look.
Back seat.
I just see a lot of new young parents in here, so
Yeah.
we're getting that next
Yeah,
generation.
it's a real problem.
Yeah.
It's a real problem, and technology is slowly trying to make a.
Would you have, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Would you happen to know any more about, there's supposed to be a conference in Orlando about the batteries, lithium batteries?
I do not know the conference, but Chief Ricky Rodriguez asked me for your information not too long ago. I'm assuming, I was assuming it was in reference to lithium batteries. Maybe he was gonna let you know. I'll find out for that.
Okay.
I'll
thank you.
find
I
out.
think it's supposed to be in September.
Yeah, I mean, they came into the presentation here. It's nationwide problem.
But I think I got it through my state, the PBC, the state college. sent it to
Okay.
me. So it's into my personal email. So I don't know how that happened, but I'm just following up. I also
your
talked to,
information.
absolutely,
Yeah.
I talked to Waste Management and they still haven't given up on an idea of coming up with some
It's-
kind of solution. I know there's a lot of entities involved. There's
Yeah.
UL, there's a lot of other organizations but the end user gets tapped with it and, people are just going to do what's most convenient, throw it in their garbage can and then it's going to be.
Mhm.
a
Yeah, I was at the
fiber.
Fire Marshal's conference last year, and that's the hot topic. It's the hot topic around the nation. Eventually, we'll get a hold of that, and then something else will be
Oh, it
done.
was a good presentation. I learned something from
Yeah,
the
I did.
batteries,
Learned something.
laptop and the batteries.
Yeah.
Chief, would you be able to provide Joe with a list of the classes that you can offer?
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
Yep. That's all.
Any other? Have we done what?
CPR class.
Oh.
I think they've done it for the staff. I don't think they've
We've
done it
done
for
it
the.
for staff, but I'd love to do one.
We could do it for the community, no
I
problem.
think that would be very
We
useful.
look
Yeah.
forward to do that because that's prevention. That's the prevention side. We avoid
Yeah.
problems before they happen. Or hands on CPR, hands on the
Good
chest
idea.
is the most important.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually the most people that get ROSC, return of spontaneous circulation, are the people that had somebody
Yeah.
do CPR.
Greg volunteers to be the dummy.
Yeah.
I'm doing a good job.
You should see the dummies they have. They're,
Oh, yeah.
they're realistic.
They'll tell you how deep your compressions are, if you're doing them right, if you're doing
I
them
do
wrong.
prefer
What?
nothing. I can't.
Don't go there, Greg.
Exactly.
Greg.
Need the dummy.
Yeah.
I'll get you that information, Mr. Lobello, and without a doubt, we would love to do that.
Great.
Ready?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Status report from Joe Lobello, please.
All right, just to go back on the alcohol in the park, Chief just notified me that it was a compromise. Hard alcohol is not allowed at all. Beer and wine for personal consumption is allowed when you're renting the pavilion.
Okay.
But I agree with the chief 1,000%. We can't say it enough. If you see something that you're uncomfortable with, a suspicious person or something, just call 911. We'd love to check it out. So just call 911. Anyone sees anything that's suspicious to them, call
And they
911.
can be outside of the pavilion. Like, it just felt really strange to have all these like adult
Yeah.
with like beer bottles in their hands, like on the playground with our kids.
It's supposed to be in the pavilion, I believe it says.
That's for the pavilion rental.
Pavilion rental, yes.
Yeah.
They try to do a compromise.
Good to know.
I would just call 911. Just call. I know it's hard to think about that. Yes, no, that's what 911 is for.
Out and say it's legal for me to have
Yeah.
this alcohol here.
The non-emergency numbers, if you want a police report or something like that, just call 911, please. You see anything, please.
It's a little bit of a delay, and if it's after hours, then you have to try to figure out if it's after 4 o'clock. Just call 911. I come from first responder, so it's a small community. They understand that they're going to be not as big of an emergency, but they take every call seriously.
All right, now our regular staff report, as reported, our next meeting is on going back to the second Tuesday of the month, which is August 11th. And then two very important meetings are in September, the 8th and the 22nd, which we will be approving our budget. And talking about events, the fishing camp is going on right now. Incredibly popular, over 40 kids. It's busy out there.
There a couple times.
So it is super, super cute.
Facebook
Right. They're actually catching fish, so it's all good.
Yeah.
So it's all really good news, and it is so cute to see those little ones. I go out there on Friday afternoon.
It's even cuter watching.
Doing that this year?
Yeah, of course.
Watching
Every
Every county out there spraying today?
Yes.
They
Uh,
were.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
that.
heard that. Somebody called me.
I didn't
Yeah.
hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I heard him. I didn't see him.
I saw him.
That's great timing. But anyway, yes, we're doing that again for lunch
Good.
Friday.
What's even cuter is watching their parents walk them over there.
And I love the way that the police department changed how they drop off and did a great job with
Yeah.
that, Chief and Dana. So it's a great job. going on, as reported, FDOT's doing a railroad grade separation feasibility study, which is a long word for safety. They're looking at the safety of railroads, how they're crossing intersections. One of them is Forest Hill. It is not the safest intersection there. So they're looking at everything right now. Nothing is thrown out to raise the railroad with I-95, to make tunnels, everything. So it's just in the early stages. I've been participating. Emily's been participating when I'm out. So we'll keep you informed, but there's no decision yet.
So it says the next stakeholder is it will be after Thanksgiving. And is that only you? Is that anybody, is that public?
Yeah, they're not even out in the public yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep you informed, but this is staff right now.
Well, you know how I feel about that railroad.
And I've told them how you felt. And we wrote it down too.
The redundant red light.
Yes. The doesn't make sense to us, red light, no stacking allowed.
Yeah.
I got an update on that one too. I have to tell you about that.
Okay, cool, because
Because it's blaming somebody, and I don't want to tell you on the record.
I mean, I have a solution and I've seen it in other places and they don't seem to even care.
Yeah, well, I got an update on that one.
Okay, cool.
All right, obviously, everyone should know, the county approved a $1 million transportation study for the next 20 to 50 years. It's called Let's Move. It's going through, that did go through a public meeting on July 9th. And if you still have the comments, there's surveys on the website. It's Let's Move Palm Beach County Transportation. Take a look at it. They're trying to gather all the information and make recommendations to the county and to the 39 municipalities on how we can improve transportation safely and effectively in our town. Changing our domain name is going well. It actually works. Your emails have changed, but both work. So we're the town of LCS.gov. And why we changed from .org to .gov is because now they know the federal government says everyone should change because now you know you're a legitimate government. You can't have .gov unless you're a government. So who wants to pay people or anything unless it's .gov? So now when you see .gov, you know it's legit. IRS.gov or anything like that, it's definitely
Our former email addresses roll over.
Years.
many years. We signed a 5-year contract, so we're like in the 3rd or 4th year of that contract. So we got many years. So but we're slowly, actually this weekend, this Friday, we're going to change over the website. It might be down for a day or two. Usually it's not as bad as they say, but we're going to give out some notice on that. Chamber of Commerce, we've had some talks about doing some research. Should we join? Again, I'm no expert on Central Palm Beach County membership. I've talked to the Central Palm Beach County director, and also there's called the Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce, which is out in West Palm Beach. I've talked to other municipal leaders. They mainly belong to the Central Palm Beach County, Green Acres, Palm Springs, and our local friends here in our Central County Alliance. So you guys can still talk about it and give me direction. But it's not that expensive. As you can see, they said it's roughly $600 for a membership. So we'll keep talking about that. Is that okay? Or because I don't, still gathering information.
So is it something that you would have, you guys already did the homework, so is there any more discussion on it, or would you go back to you guys to do more homework? I mean, I'm inclined to, do we have to put agenda next item, next meeting?
No, it's so immaterial. If 3 of you say, let's just join one of them, I'm fine with that.
Does anybody have any other thoughts?
No, I was a member of one of the chambers and I didn't think it benefited the town at all, so I stopped paying for my membership.
But that was for your personal membership.
Yeah, but
Okay.
doesn't matter what's a person, I mean, the events did not provide any opportunity for me to represent the town in a meaningful way. So I just stopped paying for
Okay.
the membership and stopped
Maybe I
going to
should-
their events.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Maybe I should add something. Just so you know, the town does ask the chamber for things. We get support letters for grants, and they, even though we're not a member, they do it for us. So It's not a terrible, I've always belonged to Palm Beach North. When I was in Juno Beach for 30 years, I was a trustee member for so many years, and it was thousands of dollars for my membership. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's just, it's overlapping chambers here. And so it's whatever you think is the right fit. But I truly believe we should connect with our business community, and that's one way is through the chambers. But I'm not an
Do
expert
you have
on
any- do
social.
you have any thoughts, council, Greg,
Oh,
Taylor?
Listen, anywhere you network, it's worth it.
Is the $600 for the town of Lake Clark Shores and you
Yeah.
get a certain number of seats, or would it be?
My understanding, it's for the, in Palm Beach North, it was in my name, but I could get as many tickets as I wanted.
But we'd still have to pay to go to the events.
Yes, but you get a membership.
It depends.
You usually get your
A
member.
lot of events are included in the chamber memberships.
Right.
too.
If it's a lunch or a breakfast, you have to pay something, usually if it has food. But some of the night things you don't pay for.
A lot of the workshops too.
A lot of the workshops are free.
I think that you should, just to be fair, provide Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches what their fee is. It can't be the same as the Central County Chamber, right?
According to AI, I looked that one up on AI. I didn't call them.
Oh, you should call Michael.
Let me call
yeah.
Michael. I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, we also have to then express why we're choosing one over the other with these individuals. So I think it would just be good for us to have all the information.
Okay.
You might want to throw the Women's Chamber on there. I don't think anyone's driving to the North County
The Women's Chamber? Oh,
Women's Chamber of Commerce.
okay.
And
That's,
there's another three.
no, there's Hispanic. I know there's many of them.
Yeah.
Especially when you got the majority of your women on this council.
Well, I served on their board and I do a lot with them, but I just think it would be good for you
I
to
thought they were
represent it.
North County.
No, they're not.
not?
They represent the entire county.
Okay,
So y-
Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County.
okay.
I don't think anyone would drive north that far. I mean,
That's what I mean.
Their
It's-
events are really far north.
Right.
Yeah, I would just put the other information in here.
so you're saying look at both options, or are you looking
I
at,
think we should look at all the chambers if we're gonna do this.
okay,
I mean, I'm also right now, just, I think any sort of expenses would be hard for me to say yes to.
Mhm.
It's like to be determined, I
Mhm.
guess. But I do think if we're going through this exercise, you should provide all the information.
Okay. We will call Michael and give you an update. All right, next item.
so
It's
i-
Selena Samios, who is the Women's Chamber. She's also an elected official.
Yes. Okay.
I think she's Royal Palm council member. Just
Thank you. All right, other items are on the other items, nothing. I think there was material except for the last one. Let me just check. The last one is, we have an announcement. Bridget Keating again was awarded and honored to be hometown hero for the state of Florida again. So we'd like.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
thank you.
Let's do a quick picture with your, yeah, let's do it up here. I got it. Okay, thanks. Here, you want to?
Are we all in it? Are you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, my council.
Get in there.
We gotta move this to the side here.
She's a hometown hero.
Get some bows. Come on, Joey.
Joe, tighten up.
All right. Flag in there. There you go. All right.
Thank you. Well
Just-
done.
Congrats.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. That was it, Mayor. If anybody has any questions, I'm here.
All right. Town attorney presentation, please.
Nothing to add beyond the status report, and be happy to answer questions.
All right. Council comments. Home rule hero.
Just on that note, since it's been 6 weeks since we've had our last meeting, part of that, I did go through the FAST meeting and, with the Florida League of Cities to DC. I think it was very productive. We're still, nothing happens, on a quick timeline. We're looking at more grants. We're looking also at the study for air traffic, because I don't know if you know, all the new technologies coming in of eVTOL is what that is a helicopter taxi that's goes, rather than taking a taxi or Uber, you would take it. So it would increase the air traffic in our area, which we obviously don't need. So we're lobbying the committee to do a GAO study, which is basically the FAA does a study to determine the safety and all the new technology combined with the existing, normal air traffic and the safety factor of it, and how do we proceed forward with it. It's not just us, it's around the country. And it's imperative in all airports. General aviation is really getting hit hard because you don't have the control towers there. So it's decreasing safety to the public, and we're in that zone. So I got to watch fly. I'm not the lead guy on it. There's a lead council member from Atlantis that started it, that was able to get on the committee from the National League. That we're keeping our eye on the ball to maintain and improve our safety. So it hasn't been done in over 20 years. And the FAA, kind of thinks that they don't want any oversight. They want to do what they want to do. And, we're not going to let them do that. Where hopefully we can get that due. Frankel was also integral part, but Senator Moody was also spearheading it, and she's an advocate, and also previous governor, Senator Scott now. He's also been on board with it, so we're staying ahead of that. We're still looking at our grants, staying on top of that. Every email contact I get, webinar I send to Joe, and I think some of the contacts have been, I don't know the status of them, but we have opened a few doors up there. But as you know, the state works slow, and the DC works even slower. So I'm a fighter. I don't give up. I love this town. So I hope that we can stay on top of them and get more funding for us, because especially now with this potential amendment coming up. So that was the status report, and I've attended a few other meetings, but that was the primary one. So hopefully that speaks for itself with the National League of Cities. I'd like to do more if the council supports further involvement. If not, then that one was on me, and I think that it's I think it's very apparent the assets and the resources that we have that we can gain through National League of Cities, because the state Florida League of Cities is great, but the state itself, the government, obviously, you see what happened this last session. They didn't do a whole lot they did a lot of vetoes, and they didn't do a whole lot for supporting grant funding. So I'm all about going out and trying to find as many resources as we can. I've also been working with Joe, with one of our neighboring, he's not a resident, but he lives in Lake Worth, and has a lot of contacts for the water management, for cleanup, for trying to do, I don't know the exact terminology, but restoration. We want to clean the waters up by doing, putting plants, water supportive plants. And he has a group that we think that we might, it's still premature, might be able to get some volunteers to come out and donate, some companies to donate the plant and wildlife to help improve put water plants to help filter not only the water itself, but also improve our fish and wildlife component. So if anybody has any ideas, please bring them forward. I'm all about this community, about parks. I want safer parks, safer streets, cleaner waters, safer waters. We also want our homeowners to take care of their property, because it's your property, but it also reflects on this community. So sorry to be long-winded, but it's been 6 weeks since our last, and I was just trying to hit the highlights.
Vice Mayor?
Anybody know what tomorrow is?
Wednesday.
Well, that's true. It's a specific Wednesday in July.
It would have been my mother's 99th birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
There you
My
go.
goodness.
What is it?
Well, no, tomorrow's mini season.
Oh, yes.
What season?
Mini season lobster.
Like the way you think. So everybody get out on the water and enjoy it.
I
You
forgot
get special
about that.
dispensation tomorrow and
Since I've been a
Thursday. After
diver.
that, it goes back to regular.
Be safe. There's always an accident.
I
Be
lost,
safe.
Well,
yes,
hit
yes.
plugs.
Make sure you get your license for your,
You get,
mini
you
season.
get
Be safe.
it's not 24 per boat. It's you can, if you get 10 people on your boat, you can each get
6
10 boats.
6 per person.
Yeah,
12
six-
year.
six.
Keys,
6 in the keys, yeah.
yes,
12 year.
right.
So
It's double here?
you get, it's double here. They're a
Yep,
lot harder
yep.
to get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
is you're limited.
my under, so I'm heading to Marathon at about 10 o'clock tonight because the traffic is reduced.
Yeah, you're limited in the keys. I lost sight of that with my diver, when I didn't do my diving.
But that's it for me.
All right. Taylor?
We'll see you all in August.
Congratulations, Bridget. I think all of your efforts are so tremendous. I know you always go above and beyond,
Thank you.
and I'm always proud to have you out there, even on your own dime, representing us and putting the effort in.
Thank you.
And I always want to thank police and fire. You guys do a tremendous job for us. I was very happy to hear about what you're doing for school coming back into season. The second wave is August 24th, when all the private schools go back, and that's when it's going to be like all madness. So I'll be happy to see you guys out there because it's been so nice the summer.
Yes, it has.
Traffic-wise. And that's really it for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would like to let everybody know this with enough notice, that, obviously we have an empty seat. We welcome someone to run for that. I think qualifying Mary is in November. Is that right? Okay. So you have a few months, but we would love to have some company up here who want to work hard for the town. And next month at our meeting and in October at our meeting, we'll be having a workshop concerning this new, I don't know if we're calling it Prop 3 or Amendment 3, the new tax bill. So stay tuned for that, and please I want everybody to really be tuned in as to what you're going to win and what you're going to lose. Let's see. Oh, just a note for our wonderful budget team. Having spent literally an entire day going line by line over this, I would be so grateful if any changes that you made between now and the next meeting were in red or in yellow or something, so wouldn't have to read the whole thing all
Not
over
much we
again.
changed already, but yeah, okay. We'll try. We try to do the material things, but I'll try.
That would, in any way to highlight them so that we
Okay.
don't have to read it all over again. Chris over there mentioned building codes, and this is something that I've been thinking about. I grew up in Palm Beach where the building code is super strict. I mean, you could submit plans for a house and they'll say that's too modern. Then you submit plans for a Bermuda house and they say, well, we don't like that balcony. This is not what I'm looking for. But I think we are, I spoke with a realtor today. We're a hot market. And I think a lot of municipalities have a rule that if somebody's changing their exterior, doing 50% of the value of the home or building new, I think that we should have some review process in place, whether it's us or another committee to, we don't want a geodesic dome going up next door to your house or something that's too crazy. So yes, Chris, would you? Yes, ARCOM, exactly.
My husband. No, I don't know who Leslie is, but is she is she on Arcom? What's her last name? Yeah, very good friends with her.
We've got a great town and we want to keep it that way. We do have floor area ratio requirements. Yeah. Now, we don't want to pass the Great Poupon, next, out the window. Is it? So I think it's time that we come up with some system and plan in place to, so that we don't end up having something that's regrettable. If you want to speak, we would love to hear you at the microphone. Because we got people online that can't hear you. All right, thank you. What do y'all think about putting some system in place?
So like an architectural review committee? Is that what you-
Yes.
Sure, we can do an if that's necessary, I think, yeah, do an advertisement just like we do our other boards. And I don't know how we'd set the requirements, who would we want on that? Because you just don't want, you want somebody that cares about the community, but you also want somebody who's qualified.
Exactly.
I think there's many
Yes.
blessings and many curses that come with review boards like that. My husband is an architectural designer for a major developer in Palm Beach. He works with ARCOM. He's probably before them every meeting. I know Natalie Smith very, very well, and her father. And I think that we would have a very hard time starting where we are now, and putting some sort of standards in place. Maybe a board like ARCOM is it's not the right avenue. It can be a curse as well to have a structure like that in place. So I don't know what the alternatives are. I'm sure you're thinking what I'm thinking about.
100%.
ARCOM.
Yeah, my brain's going crazy with that comment, because there's a lot of steps before you actually pick a committee.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put a lot of steps into this, and there's a lot of home laws that have been taken away because of the state
Yep.
not allowing us to do this anymore. So what you have in Palm Beach is kind of unique. Juno Beach, where I came from, obviously for 35 years, they've been struggling still to this day. And we spent a lot of money on consultants and different rules. And then we finally said, not single family homes. I mean, we don't have a lot of single family homes that are being built right now. And there's lawsuits with the Burt Harris Acts. So if there's Burt Harris means if there's a taking of somebody's rights of what they can build, what they thought they could build in the past and what they can build in the future. So starting something now is a very difficult process. I'm not saying it's impossible.
Than 10
So
years from now.
I want to clarify something about ARCOM and their specific purpose, but I grew up in the South End, so I know exactly what you're describing, and I think it's ridiculous, all these like mega mansions that are like 0 lot lined out. And I think it absolutely takes away from the authenticity of that neighborhood and the overall aesthetic of that neighborhood that I grew up in. ARCOM and the historic board at the city of West Palm Beach really are in place to protect the historic nature of the homes in Palm Beach and the historically designated neighborhoods of West Palm Beach. And that's how they're able to operate, because they follow those parameters of these homes or public spaces are historic, and they have a whole guideline that goes around that.
Right.
ARCOM seeks favor from the Preservation Board, the Preservation Foundation, when projects go up. Not all the projects being built that go before ARCOM are going to be historic, restorations, renovations. They're going to be new projects too, but they have to still fall under that aesthetic and look and guidelines. And that's what they're trying to protect. So I think the only way we could do something like that here is.
I don't think you can do that part. No, I had 2 of those communities.
No,
Yeah.
I hear the legalities of it. Would
Very
there be
tricky.
something that would
tricky.
benefit?
We do have a lot already. So we have land mass, land height, we have lot coverage, there's setbacks. So we have a good foundation, just so you know. It's not like we don't,
Stuff that we have.
which the state has preempted us So the state has told us that we can't do things on mother-in-law suite. So the state is taking those rights away every session. We definitely can look into it, Mayor, but it's an expensive proposition, and we do not have a lot of new construction that I know of. She's asking if, how many times do we make Ann's asking, how many times do we do an exception to setbacks? Not much. That would have to be asked for a variance, and you'd have to have a hardship. So you have to prove you're supposed to. You're supposed to have a hardship. That doesn't mean it's always passed that way, but you have to demonstrate what your hardship, why your property is different. So it's not easy to get a variance. Can you please, because
It's not us, it's
just-
because the online aspect. Most of us don't.
I did want to remodel one of the houses at my first house on Westlake, and the setbacks really restricted us.
Right.
And at first I was like, ugh, I want my
Right.
house to be able to do this. And then I really appreciated the fact that I had to have it so set back.
Mhm.
To live on Westlake still. And I actually am less concerned. It would be really hard to do with the setbacks that have been on my property.
Right.
To create like a townhouse structure.
Like an ADU.
Maybe because there's so many feet that you have to.
Yeah.
So if we can't do the ARCOM thing,
I'm on Westlake too, and my husband and I have this exact same conversation.
so I think if we can't do the ARCOM thing, the fact that we're pretty strict about keeping our setbacks or like really keeping the rules that we have in place, I think could be a decent way to like really make sure they stick. Because I do not. I'm with you too. Like we're better than that. We
I'm
have
glad
a
you brought that
charm.
up.
But I do think like if we can really keep what we have already in place without too many exceptions, we could be good.
Well, and if there's anything else that we can do to enhance that.
Better than I could say.
And if there's anything else that we can do to enhance what we currently have, then that's always an option.
You definitely should review these things periodically.
FAR and the setbacks and the height restrictions.
Yeah, we should definitely.
Give us a list of all the restrictions that are currently in place.
Sure. And they should be reviewed. So if you guys want me to do that, just 3 yeses, and I'll put something
I think
down
you
of
got
what we
3
have.
yeses.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll put an agenda item, probably not going to be 2 weeks from now. That's too soon.
Got it.
But maybe September or October.
We'll let it ride.
Yeah.
One request of the council, I would request that we move the November meeting 1 week later because I'm unable to attend the second Tuesday, if everyone's in agreement.
Is the third Tuesday Thanksgiving week?
Do we need,
Okay.
do we need to move it? Or is it, I mean, from a quorum
You're just
standpoint?
gonna miss us and you wanna be here?
Exactly.
I'm open, I mean, hey.
So what date is it and what date is it? Do you want to move it to?
Just 1 week later,
The 10th, November 10th is this regularly
You'll be
scheduled.
looking at the
17th.
17th, correct.
Yep. Tell us, Joe. I'm fine by me.
Well, I appreciate the mayor bringing it up so early in advance, so we can keep talking about it, but my calendar's good. So, I'll put it on the calendar, the next staff report, and we'll keep talking about it. See if anybody has a conflict, please let me know.
Thank you. And the last thing I wanted to mention, at one point, someone wanted to do an art fair for residents, but I'm looking at this, and I mean, no offense to anybody who donated it or whatever, kind of dreary. I'm wondering if we could
there.
solicit some
Don't go there.
art,
You're
some
bold, you're.
Don't go there.
some art, solicit art from some of our residents who might want to periodically hang something up here for us.
Well,
Aren't those Florida natural birds?
What?
What are these photographs from, Joe? The history of it.
they're beautiful pictures of our
This is
native
From-
birds,
bird
bird sanctuary, yes.
Yeah.
But
Would you,
All birds.
but we will take donations of
would you
beautiful
like
art.
them in your office?
Huh? Yes, we will take.
Would you like
I
those
think-
birds in
I
your
think
office?
Bana Gito probably was responsible for those.
Who?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how old I am.
Oh,
But this is a bird sanctuary and that's how they got here originally.
I always believe in busts of the town manager.
Pardon me?
Bust.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
I'm just saying, is that it? Are we?
Well,
No, that's-
I just want to add one other comment. I don't know if you, had the, luxury of me, going to the seniors meeting this month, and they had a wonderful educator about, Florida natural plants. I'd like to see her come back. I mean, they talked about just, plants that don't need watering, and they not only enhance your yard, but they don't need, they're very, Florida native, and the species are going away because people aren't buying them. They also attract birds, butterflies, bees, and they don't cost anymore. And there's, I think it was very educational, and hopefully maybe we can get her back to, I don't know if it's senior or a different meeting, but I think it was very informative, and I think it would also enhance your real estate. I mean, it's beautiful things, and they're easy to grow, and you don't even have to water them. So I was, I'm a native Floridian, and I didn't know half the things that she was saying. And there's natural fertilizers, there's, mulch like from, Malukas that are natural. There's certain mulches that are better than others, and that's a more natural one. So it's a benefit to the environment. So I thought it was just very informative, and I wanted to thank Joe and Mary for bringing her in.
Okay, may I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, roll call for the CRA meeting. Well.
Who made those motions to?
I did.
He made a motion, and I think
Motion to adjourn.
Sorry.
Christy Mossbach, Chair.
Here?
Gregory Freebold, Vice Chair.
Yeah.
Taylor Materio, Commissioner.
Here.
Bridget Keating, Commissioner.
Present.
Do we have any public comments for the CRA? May I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. May I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We have a presentation from the executive director on the proposed budget for next year.
Fiscal year.
I'll make this real short. As you know, our current goal is to budget as much funds as we can to have it available, but not spend any money because we're waiting for grants on parks. So there's no increases. We're still getting money from the county. We're projected to get $85,000 from the county, $110,000 from the town, and we will have a budget of roughly 600,000 with 478,000 undesignated to do what, if those grants do materialize. We still have one grant out there that we have not heard an answer from, which is the Florida Land and Water Conservation Fund, which is a federal grant, and that's a $400,000 grant for Memorial Park, 50-50 match. So the budget's really not a big deal to talk about. There's nothing really in there that we're spending money on. We're just waiting for those grants so we can utilize and supplement the funding for our parks. That's
Any comments on that? All right, executive director comments?
Nope.
Do you have any additional comments, Mr. Executive Director?
No, ma'am. No, Mayor.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Council comments? Bridget?
Nope.
I'm good.
Taylor?
No comments.
May I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
No.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We are adjourned.
Gracias.